Hello! We all remember Friday night in Cape Town as the England team walked onto the pitch. A capacity crowd of 64,000 people lowered their vuvuzelas and collectively shouted, "Come on, Tim! Come on, Tim!" or words to that effect. It turned out though that England didn't need the support from Henman Hill because within 6 short days since playing the USA, they had learnt how to play as a unit, a team, an all-conquering team who can beat Algeria by several goals. My favourite goal was the second one, when Huddleston passed to Walcott, who had a neat delivery to Bullard, who fed Darren Bent. Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. No, hang on, that's a dream I had, isn't it? This video is supposed to be me pretending to be James Richardson, broadcasting a newspaper review focusing on the global coverage of England's match against Algeria, but the problem is, nothing happened in that game. There was nothing to write about. Instead, everyone has focused on how poor England were, and Rooney's rant at the cameras when he was walking off the pitch. Wayne, why shouldn't the England fans boo that performance? Especially when they've paid so much money for travel and tickets. I mean, even if they got them free off Robbie Earle, they're still allowed to boo. According to the Daily Mail, Robbie Earle got 400 free tickets, including 40 for the final. The whole of the BBC's allocation for the whole of the tournament was just 200 tickets. So, no newspaper review this week, but don't worry, there are still plenty of cake shots. Back to England's performance, the Algerians played about 8 men in defence, and England couldn't pass the ball through them, so instead they decided to loft the ball into the penalty area before Crouch had even entered the field of play. Also, I noticed that Aaron Lennon runs like a girl, and that's the analysis done. James Richardson is not on the telly during the World Cup, but he is recording a daily podcast on the Guardian's website, and due to it being an audio broadcast, we are not sure if he's wearing a realistic bald cap that cost £6 from Amazon, but I certainly am. I've been told that I look like Paul Daniels in this thing. But anyway, here's the funniest stuff that's happened in the World Cup over the last week. You'll like it, but not a lot. We are all aware of the first week of this World Cup. It's been shit, hasn't it? There's no need for me to mince my words. If you want to hear that type of thing, you're just going to have to watch Matt Smith on ITV. While we're on the subject of ITV, those Hyundai sponsorship adverts could appeal to more World Cup fans by getting the drivers of those cars to sound their horns for far too long. The French team are in disarray. Down by 2 goals to Mexico, they look limp and out of ideas. I thought to myself, if France score, manage to even draw this game, it will be daylight robbery. That joke works if you pretend the game was not played at night time and you really like puns. The French team today have refused to train, and their World Cup campaign continues to go from bad to worse, which raises the question, will Raymond Domenech become the most hated Frenchman since the name escapes me. The Germans lost a match against Serbia, so they've picked a new goalkeeper. Here he is. That joke's funny because his family are all German, except this one. He is very British. The England team had to speak to the Fresh Prince of Bel-End and his brother from his mother's other lover after Friday's shite match, plus a fan managed to enter the dressing room and shout at the players. Now I'll let you decide which visit the squad disliked the most. Spain couldn't win their first game, despite having a star-studded bench to call on. The amazing Pedro was brought on the 77th minute, but he didn't really do anything. Pedro. You'd think his parents would have called him something a little bit less racist, wouldn't you? Anyway, this World Cup review is pretty much over. Join me after England's final group game with Slovenia for more reaction, and hopefully it won't look like I've been crying. Fabio, play Joe Cole. Play Joe Cole. Also, we may see some big names crash out of the tournament. France, Italy, one of the teams from the group of death, and England are all one game away from either triumph or tragedy. So, anyway, from me, for now, it's arrivederci.